Hello friends, this is Normal here for Technique, and in this video we're going to review the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. So Samsung announced two flagship phones at the Mobile World Congress 2016, the Samsung Galaxy S7 and the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. But unlike the last year, we have only two flagship. Last year we had S6, S6 Edge, S6 Edge Plus. So right now we have S7 and S7 Edge. Now S7 Edge comes with a bigger display. It's a 5.5-inch Quad HD display when compared to 5.1 Quad HD display on the Samsung Galaxy S7. And there are two processors available for the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. One is the Exynos 8890 processor, which is the Octa core chipset in-house processor, and the second one is the Snapdragon 820, which is considered as the most powerful chipset available right now. So the variant which we have been testing is a Exynos 8890 octa-core chipset. This is coupled with 4 gigs of RAM, and we have 32 gigs of internal storage. There is a massive 3600 mAh battery. Now Samsung has done some changes to the S7 and the S7 Edge. Now micro SD card makes an comeback to the flagship device. Apart from that, the IP68 water and dust resistant feature is also making a comeback into this flagship, which we missed in the last year's flagship. Now the phone runs Android 6.0 Marshmallow on top of Samsung's on TouchWiz UI. So that was the software aspect. Now the cameras has also been improved. It now comes with a 12 megapixel rear camera, LED flash. There is also a front facing 5 megapixel camera. So that was the hardware and software aspect. Now let's go into the detailed aspects about this phone. So let's first have a look at the design. So last year Samsung did radical changes to the design, and the S6 was considered one of the really good devices from Samsung, and now Samsung has refined the design on the S7 Edge. You can see here it's now more slimmer and pretty compact as well. Even though it's a 5.5-inch device, you can see that the bezels have been kept to very low. You can see the curved edges on either sides. And you can see the tapered edges on the rear panel as well, and the curved edges on top and bottom. This all gives it a really good feel for this device, and this is one of the really good devices with excellent design and looks really good in terms of the build quality as well. But having said that, there are a couple of annoyances as well. One is this is a fingerprint magnet, because this is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass on front and rear panel over the metallic construction. So that makes this device vulnerable to fingerprint. So you'd be cleaning the device quite frequently to clear the fingerprints. So that was one issue. The another issue is that the device isn't really easy to hold. It's kind of slippery at times. It's not a device which will fall off your hand when using. That's not the case. But still, there are some issues like holding the device. You feel it's kind of slippery, and you take additional attention to hold the device. So that's another issue. But having said that, this is one of the really good devices in the flagship category with excellent design and build quality. So even though it's a 5.5-inch device, it's not really compact by any means, because 5.5 inches is still a huge device. 5 inches is ideal for many users with smaller hands, but still you get a feeling that this is not really a huge device with bigger even though it has a 5.5-inch display, it is quite good to hold. Now let's move on to the display aspect. So Samsung has retained the same the resolution, that's the Quad HD panel. It is now a 5.5 inches Quad HD panel, although the resolution the pixels per inch is slightly lower, but you never notice that because it's already a Quad HD display. So that makes this device really good in terms of the display quality. You can see the colors are really punchy. Samsung Super AMOLED panel makes the display saturated, and the touch response looks really cool. The viewing angles are also really good, and even when you use the device outdoor in bright sunlight, you won't have any issues using this Super AMOLED panel. So the display is one of the really good aspects about this device, and you can see that the edge has display curved on either sides. Samsung has made some changes to the software to make use of the edge screen, so that will take up in the software section. So overall, in the display aspect, we would say this is one of the really good devices in the display aspect. Now let's move on to the software. So this phone comes with Android 6.0 Marshmallow out of the box, and this is the Samsung's TouchWiz UI on top of the Android 6.0 Marshmallow. So Samsung has polished the TouchWiz UI. A lot of users have been complaining over the years that TouchWiz isn't really one of the optimized softwares, but this is probably the best version of TouchWiz we have seen so far, and this is really optimized. And you can see the quick toggles, the notifications, and there are lots of customization options along with the quick toggles arranged in a different manner. The colors have been gone for a change. You also have this theme store where you can download themes and get more themes and customization options in this software segment. Now there is also another new feature called the always on display. So we already done a video on what is exactly the always on display and how to turn it off. So always on display shows some information like the clock, calendar, an image, you have the battery notification, and notification from SMS, emails, etc. So that's the always on display, and this can be configured from the settings. You can either show a clock, calendar, or image. So that is something really good, and Samsung says that this takes up only 1% of battery. So if you are really interested in the always on display, you can turn it on from the settings. Now there is also edge screen. So this is something Samsung has done to the software. You can see apps on the edge screen. We have people, then tasks can be done. There is Yahoo weather, then important updates. So you can configure this panel, and there is also task feeds, I mean the edge feeds, so where you can show the notification from missed calls, messages, emails, etc. So there are lots of panels available which you can download from the Samsung store, making this edge more useful. But still it's not really that useful, we would say, but if you're looking for something really different when using your smartphone, the edge display does cater to that needs. So that was the software aspect. So overall we are quite happy with the software. Not many bloatwares included. Samsung has included only minimum apps. You can see Microsoft apps have been included. Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive, OneNote, and Skype are pre-installed. Then you have the Samsung's own voice recorder, email browser, S-Health app, which can measure the heart rate, the stress level, and blood oxygen level using the sensor on the rear panel. Now Samsung has also integrated a fingerprint scanner to the home button. So this is the fingerprint scanner, and fingerprint scanner works when you press and hold the button when this screen is turned off, and if it is turned on, you just have to keep the finger and it unlocks. This works really well, and this is much more polished now, and we seldom had any issues with the fingerprint scanner. Here and there, 1 or 2 times it did miss, but most of the occasions it was able to recognize quickly and unlock the device. So the fingerprint scanner can be configured from the settings menu. Now talking about the performance, so this phone comes with Exynos 8890 octa-core chipset coupled with 4 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. So the variant selling in India is the Exynos variant, and overall we would say the performance looks quite good, no major issues, and the TouchWiz UI is now really optimized. We don't see any major issues. Slight hiccups here and there, especially when you are using the dual panel. We could see some minor lags here and there, but still we would say this is one of the really optimized software, and performance looks very good. Now the gaming experience was also really good with a Quad HD display and the games playing really well, even when playing in the high resolution, I mean the high graphic rich mode. We didn't experience any issues, and overall the gaming performance was very good, and heating on this device was very minimal and well under control. So in the performance side, we would say this is one of the really performing flagships available right now, with great performance all around. And this also comes with 4G LTE, dual SIM cards, and you also have the micro SD card expansion slot. So the SIM card slot has been placed on the top, and you have a dual SIM card support along with the micro SD card expansion slot. That's a hybrid SIM card slot. So this was one of the features which was missing in the Samsung Galaxy S6, and now with S7 and S7 Edge, Samsung has brought back this feature. Another feature which is now available on this device is the IP68 water and rust resistant feature, which makes a compact to this phone. So you can use this phone in rain, even if it falls out of your hand to water. It can sustain that. It can sustain up to 1 meter and 30 minutes in water. So it's completely sealed, and that's one really good aspect about the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. So that was the software and performance. Now let's move on to the camera. So camera, Samsung has included a smaller 12 megapixel camera, but this is a bigger sensor with f1.7, which allows additional lights to come in. This also has the dual pixel feature, which is available on DSLR cameras. So that feature makes an entry to smartphones with the Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. Now it also has a front facing 5 megapixel camera. Now if you look at the camera interface, Samsung hasn't changed the interface. We have almost all features. There are lots of modes included. You can download more modes. We have slow motion, food mode, hyperlapse, the pro mode, and if you go to the video recording mode, we have plenty of options like Ultra HD, Quad HD, Full HD at 60 fps, slow motion at 720p. Then there is the regular Full HD sample. And talking about the camera samples, we're pretty impressed with the samples offered by the Samsung Galaxy S7, and there are plenty of details. The colors look punchy, great detailing all around. The sharpness and the overall clarity of the photos looks really good. It's one of the really good smartphones with excellent camera. And this also has optical image stabilization along with face detection autofocus, making this device really good in terms of the camera performance. So we have done a detailed camera review. If you want to know more about the camera, you can have a look at the camera samples and also the camera review along with samples, video samples of Ultra HD and the Full HD samples. So that was the camera aspect. So overall, we would say one of the really good flagship devices out there. If you're looking for camera in the flagship segment, we would definitely recommend the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. Now let's move on to the battery. So one of the concerns about the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge was that it came with a smaller battery, which struggled to cope up with 1 day of usage. Now here Samsung has improved that. Now it's a massive 3600 milliampere battery, and this makes the battery performance of the device really good. With average usage, with normal usage including social networking, bit of gaming, using the camera, browsing, calls, etc., we could get more than a day of usage with this battery, even with the always on display. So it can easily take you one day of usage, even if you are a heavy user, so you don't have to worry of the battery for a day. So that's something really good Samsung has done with the battery life, and you may not have any issues using this device with battery performance. So we have talked about a lot of aspects about this phone. So this phone retails around the 56k in India. So that's the official pricing. So is it really worth the buy? Now, if you're looking for a really flagship phone, we have the S7 and the S7 Edge. So those two are phones from Samsung which really competes with the Nexus 6P, iPhone 6s Plus, and also the LG G5, which is yet to come to India. So if you're looking for a real flagship, our choice would definitely be the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, because this has really good performance, a great camera, good battery life, and superior build quality along with a Quad HD display. So all in all, if you're looking for a really premium phone, it's really a recommended device out there with great features, stunning hardware, excellent camera, great battery life. So that was the detailed review of the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.